He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अहं ब्रह्मास्मि.
Manaji, check your mic, na?
Is it audible now?
Yes, now it's audible, yes.
Yeah. So here you go. So welcoming you all to the 10th episode of Matrikas. Might be we'll be able to complete it in another, because शायद आज पूरा cover नहीं हो पाएगा, because still 10 alphabets are left out. So in the middle there was the Ta Varga that we had not done, and today we will be speaking about the same. And apart from knowing the Matrikas, we'll know few more mantras, the devatas associated with them, how they impact you. Apart from that, we will do a meditation at the end once you understand like how what Matrika actually works. Based on that, you will also come to know that these particular things which I skipped it in the initial phase, because this is related to some amazing things that you will be coming to know today, especially about dana, about dharma, about relationship, so those things will be popping up, and then you will be aware of these matrikas also. So shall we begin? Okay. So please close your eyes. Just remembering the matrikas from the E, E. So whatever matrikas you could remember, just allow them to just grow within you. And see how the matrikas move within you. You are focusing on an alphabet and certain things changes within your body. So just feel that for a moment. Don't change anything about your breath. Just keep it as is. Just relax into those. This will help you to bring in your mind to stabilize from all the external thoughts towards internal silence. Let go of all the other thoughts. Drop your shoulders and relax. You can open your eyes, or you can still sit with the eyes closed and listen to what is being said. So this is about the ta varga. The ta, tha, the, dha, na. So it is all about when we are starting the ta varga. This will especially deal about a fact as to when the consciousness learns to live with others. See, it was one, it divided itself, it created all these things. Now, in that divisibility, it is trying to learn how to live with others. But in true essence, are there any others? It's just like you standing in front of 10 mirrors, and now you are adjusting yourself to know how to live with those mirrors. Because every mirror, your image looks different because of the angle of that mirror. And then now you say, who is this guy? Who is that guy? And then you stand there looking at this. Okay, if they are all there, let me adjust to live with them. So this is how this consciousness, which was absolutely one, distributed itself, created all those things. And now it is learning how to live with it. Just like we all create something, then we learn how to live it. And that is where you will really understand how this third varga will work. Because up until this point, the journey of the consciousness was it was only looking at itself, trying to know, trying to be. But here it is trying to discover itself more. It wants to strengthen itself because it has traveled far into the world now, and it wants to see what is exactly me here. And it is trying to even find out the reasons why I am here. Is there any karmic account, in the sense do I really need to be purified? And we all know because it was traveling as a lone traveler in solitary, now by default in this creation everything is duality, so it cannot walk alone. And that is how the nature works. Existence itself says like it cannot be a solitary movement. Can there be a movement without a body or a medium? And without a movement, can the existence be in place? So if you look at a deeper sense of it, what I'm saying is anything that you see, any, let's say I'm speaking, the words are reaching to you, but there is a medium through which it is reaching you. Without that medium, can anything move? That's what I said. That is why it is a duality game here. Because even if you say, okay, no, I'm just thinking and I believe like what you said, I heard it, but still you are utilizing something called as mind. So there is an instrument through which it is passing on. Can you see that energy is flowing through a medium? Without the energy, the medium is of no use. But without the medium, it is not able to pass. Again, it brings us to Shiva and Shakti. Shiva without Shakti is a corpse, and Shakti without Shiva is chaos. Because it is not able to express itself. When you are not able to express yourself, what do you feel? Exactly. Chaotic. And that's how this has been. Now, why there was a requirement of this consciousness to know everybody and to try to learn and to live with them? Because now it is seeing a different varieties of thing all around it. And now it is learning how to express. But the problem became when it tried to impress. Up until expression, it was all good. But the moment it started learning the act of impressing, don't you think all the major problems in your life, what could be the reason? Just go take a minute and look back. Because you're trying to impress somebody, there is a problem. But have you seen the saints or those, even small little kids, right? When you look at them, do they try to impress you, or because of their act you get impressed? There is a beautiful saying that I will say. If you touch the water, you create ripples. If you don't touch the water and just watch it, it does its own activity. But your touch itself creates all the ripples. Yes or no? So life in itself will go and do whatever it has to do. The moment we try to touch it, then all the ripple starts beginning in our lives. The moment you say like, I am now, I will take over. And that's the moment everything starts. Because just think of, if somebody told you you should create perfect ripples, and if that was taught to you, and then there would have been an exam for that, what do you think? Whose ripple would have been better? Think. Again, there would be masters sitting there gauging this much different, that much difference. Yes or no? Thank God there is no such activity available. But who knows, someday some wise mind can come and say, no, let's do a ripple test. And how you create the ripple makes you a good person or a bad person. What would you tell about that if something comes in like that? Like, are you creating good ripples or bad ripples? Oh, your ripple is smaller, my ripple is bigger. Can that happen? Human mind is capable of doing many things. But the thing is, they have not started it yet. But you know what? If there was a competition between all of us, then you will know that the ripples were already perfect in their own senses. But we sat and said, because I did this, it should be the best one. Or because I did this, this was the worst one. Can there be a perfect or imperfect ripple? No, right? Then who is sitting and deciding that this ripple is good and bad? Because there is a judge. And this judge has also one more problem. It wants to impress with its judgment. Yes or no? Now just think, if the judge was not there within you, you would have been much happier, right? And that's how I say, anything that you look at is beautiful. It is beautiful because it does not judge itself. And the moment you don't judge yourself, do you even say I am beautiful? Do you even need to tell you are good? There is no need left out there. So what kind of ripple are you creating? Remember this statement, up until you touch the water, there is no ripple. Up until you touch the life, it is just life. And there is one more owner of it. The moment it touches that, it says it's mine. And then you see more strangulation comes into play. So shall I tell you how to get rid of all these things? Then slowly move and learn. Like this is where how we learn to be in this world. But if you can learn this art of being untouched, the true meaning, like what earlier people used to say in the caste system, like untouchable, it's not that word. I believe like you should be untouchable in a space where the world is not able to touch you. The situations, the circumstances, the surroundings, even the judge within you should not be able to. So that's a great act of doing. And if you are able to succeed, that you are a sage. Shall I continue with this? But always remember, ripples only are created if you touch the water. Up until then, it's just water. So, anywhere you feel overwhelming, just stay for a moment and think of this simple statement. Am I touching that water again? Because of which this ripple is there. What do you do in that moment? Take off your hand, because the ripples won't last forever. But if you keep on touching the water again and again, it will keep on creating ripples. It's okay once you touch that. But even if you are doing that, look at how beautifully it unfolds itself automatically. Isn't it? So the judge should be moved out. The owner should not be there. And then you sit at the bank of a river watching it flow. And by default, the river flows to the ocean. By default, the life will flow from where it came from. You have to understand the art of what I call as space. What is that? The art of space. Is there anything in this world in which there is no space? anything. Everything has a space in that. Even the anu, means the atom. If there was no space in the atom, then how the protons, electrons, neutrons are moving? There is a space there also. But you know what we have done? Anu reh gaya hai. It's just a small little being. Atma. Anu. But there is a capability of the Anu to become the Paramanu. Atma to become the Paramatma. How does it does? अणु परमाणु कैसे बन जाता है? एटम एटॉमिक एनर्जी कैसे बन जाता है? एटॉमिक बॉम्ब कैसे बन जाता है? इट्स डिड यू रियलाइज वो अणु तब तक है जब तक उसने अपनी सीमा बना रखी है एंड इट थिंक्स लाइक इट इज ए स्मॉल लिटिल स्पेस. द डे इट एक्सपैंड्स इट्स स्पेस, वो परमाणु बन जाता है. आत्मा अपने आप को शरीर में बांध के एक छोटा सा जीव समझता है. द डे इट एक्सपैंड्स इटसेल्फ, वो स्वयं परमात्मा बन जाता है. So this entire talk that we are going to do, or we are speaking actually, ये यात्रा वही है. When you look at yourself, you have made yourself small. The judge says you are a small little ripple. You are a small little being. And then you put labels to that also. And you brand yourself in some or other ways. I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. Okay, so without all that, what are you? But because we are in this world, we have to be knowing, learning the art of being here. So these matrikas are going to teach us the same thing. How to be here. But the secret behind that was don't touch the water. I'll teach you how to live with it, with these matrikas. But the essence beyond that is how not to touch the water. Close your eyes and now tell me, how many ripples have you created in whichever aspects of your life? And you will be amazed, and might be at times you will start laughing. Oh, I never realized that this is what I was creating. And then I said, you should not become worried. I said you should be amazed. And there is a difference between being worried and being amazed. When you become amazed, you become like a childlike. Have you seen a small little kid playing with a toy? The new one that you gave them, a very new one, might be a costlier one. And immediately the child crushes it on the ground for a few times and then opens up and starts seeing what is there inside it. इसके अंदर क्या है वो देखने लगता है. For you it is broken, but for the kid it's wandering. It is trying to explore something new. So are you worried about the ripples that you created? If you are worried, don't create the ripples anymore. But if you are wondering, wow, how did I do this? That creates a new world. So now you can open your eyes and now see how I create ripples. So let me take the water into the hand now. Because it is a saying in the sages, जब वो लोग बात करते हैं ना, they say that after the soul learns how to stand in truth, then a deeper challenge will begin. To remain true while living among all the others. This is quite an act. And when this being who was alone now sees others and tries to stay true to itself and still tries to adjust itself as per the others, that is where all these 5 matrikas appear. The ta, tha, the, dha and na. And as we all know, they are not just sounds of power or beauty. These 5, they are the sounds of relationship, responsibility, sacrifice, endurance, and purification. So now these 5 are going to talk about all these 5 things. Without these 5 things, that would be relationship, responsibility, sacrifice, endurance, and purification. Without them, no society can stand. Not even a family can survive. And even dharma could not flow through time. So today, let's dive deep into that and learn how these matrikas are actually playing in the background. And we think we are the one who is doing it. So here, the being the first step outward. I would like you to imagine or rather experience it in this way. If you sit with a closed eye, and when I say step out, you actually jump out of your body. You don't have to do that. When I say, you just feel, and then you will see a different kind of vibration in the body starts. And if you can sit with eyes closed and listen to what I'm saying, this might be another kind of experience altogether. Shall we listen or shall we experience? Both. Yeah, without listening, how do you experience? But experience can happen. But how do you know that is right or not? Because the judge is still there. So now the judge says, the one who is sitting there and speaking, he has the evidences. So let's listen. So close your eyes and listen to it. And now I'm not just going to be saying as the, it's a you. And when you listen to this word the, this is the first step outward. Take a step outward. And you know how you do that? You actually do it every moment. It is the courage to express truth through speech. The is the sound of satya, truth, moving into a dialogue. In the epic learnings of our Puranas, the is present when a teacher instructs a student, when a parent is guiding its child, when a friend speaks honestly, even at the risk of discomfort, is present. It is, it does not impose anything on it. It just offers. It just gives to you, and it's up to you what you do with that. And that's the work of the again, if you look at it, it is communication as a duty, not a performance. If we look at it, understand it psychologically, the awakens the need to be understood without manipulating others for approval. How many times it must have happened to us? We need others to understand us. And we try to do it sincerely without manipulating anything, without trying to get any approval. But at times, the mind kicks in. But if you have to understand,
Deva, sorry, Deva, आपका voice is not clear. We are not able to hear it properly. It is very disturbing
okay,
and breaking. Thank you.
okay. So is it good now? Okay. So that's what exactly it is all about. It did its work because the is the expression of the truth through voice. Good. You are experiencing it rightly. So when it is being spoken and it is not clear, how do you feel? Exactly how you feel in this world when something is told to you and it is not to you. I think it's changing again. So it's going on and coming off. It's doing its own drama. But do let me know if the voice goes off. Now it is clear, right? Okay. So it will, this ta varga, the ta matra, matrika, it teaches us that silence can protect peace, but truth can protect integrity. Many conflicts arise. This is something you have to know. This is something that you should tie a knot to. एक बांध के रख लेने वाली चीज बोलने जा रहा हूं मैं. You must have realized this, that many conflicts arise not because of truth was spoken, but because the truth was delayed. बहुत बार झगड़े इसलिए नहीं होते कि सच बोल दिया गया, बल्कि इसलिए होते हैं कि सच को बहुत बाद में बोला गया, not on the right time. If it was told at the first instance itself, you would not have fought. आप झगड़े ही नहीं करते थे, बोलेगा ठीक है ना, ये हुआ ना, ठीक. But that was not told. The truth was hidden. And the truth was told in a delayed pattern. And that's where you feel amazing in that space, right? अच्छा लगता है या बुरा लगता है, कैसा लगता है आपको? How do you feel in that moment? You could have told this to me earlier, right? And that's where I said, just tie this. Because conflicts will not only appear because of the truth, but because the truth will be told at a delayed time. And that's why the sages have told that if you know, if you understand the ta varga, ta is the bridge between inner clarity and the shared reality. मेरे अंदर जो है और मेरे सामने जो घटित हो रहा है, इन दोनों में जब सामंजस्य बन जाता है, when this both connect, that is the. Without the, truth remains as a private and a relationship that is only within you, but not that great. And that's why we say is the gives you the courage to speak the truth. And because it gives you the courage to speak the truth, here the main deity that presides over the is Saraswati or Vakdevi. Because she is the one, it is like the dharma as a living order. When you speak the truth, it is like dharma is living in this world. Satya, what you call as truth, what is the quality of the? The quality of the ta is the satya in relationship. Truthful expression of your own self without violence. And anyone who is using a violent way is not living up to the quality of the. But if you really want to bring that effect in your life, if you want to express something and should not be misunderstood, is there a mantra for that? Yes, there is. If you do this right, Generally, what will happen is you will be fearless in speaking, but while speaking, you will not sabotage, but you will bring in the facts. Would you like to learn that mantra also? अब आप सोचना पड़ेगा कि किस चीज के लिए मंत्र नहीं है हमारे पास. The sages have gone dive deep into everything and have come up with all that is needed for life. So anytime if you want to really, you want to keep or bring out that truth in the right way, then this mantra would help. Please close your eyes, because I keep on saying, I give them before I give the mantra, keep your eyes closed. Then somebody asked me actually, why do you ask us to close the eyes when you tell a mantra? I said, so that you don't awake into the world, but you awake within yourself. क्योंकि अंतर आत्मा में अगर जागृति आ गई, if you awake within yourself, you will anyways awake outside. So this is the mantra that goes for it. Om Tam Satyavachai Nama. It can be Satyavachai, it can be Satyavachye. So these can be two mantras here. Satyavachaya and Satyavachye. So Om Tam Satyavachye Nama. Om Tam Satyavachye Nama. If you really want to strengthen your command about truth through voice, अगर शब्दों के जरिए, especially if you see like the people, those who want to be very impressive in this world also, if they start chanting, this would be of great help. For example, any speaker that is there, a personality who actually speaks in the public, if they use this, all the people, those who deal with people, especially gatherings or bigger crowd, or you are at a responsible position, of course you should do that. So जब भी, if you really want to gain that command over your voice, but in a truthful way, कौन सा मंत्र जाएगा? ओम तम सत्यवाच्ये नमः. Then what will it exactly help us with is this. If we understand this Matrika, this is the moment when clarity will step in. If you don't have a clarity whether I say this or not, how this will be taken, then again this mantra works for you. Because it will govern your speech not as a communication alone, but as a responsibility. When you speak, people will come to realize that you are not just speaking that you need something, but you are speaking because you are responsible for what is being done and what is happening all around. And that is where the Vedas declare that speech creates bonds, resolves conflict, and establishes dharma among all beings. Ta therefore belongs to Saraswati in her aspect of Vakdevi. The living word Ta is the one that carries the truth across the hearts. And this is where you will realize that psychologically, if you look at it, Ta awakens the ability to say what must be said without hiding behind politeness or exploding in anger. Neither ये बहुत politely बोलेगा, ना ही it will not just cross the barrier of anger. Because many suffer not from conflict, but from unsaid truth which is not expressed, and then it goes into resentment. Let me tell you a small little story. There was this disciple who was who served his guru for many years without any asking, without any saying, very silently. For years, he used to do the seva of the guru. But he never revealed his doubts to the guru also. One day, the guru said, "Your silence is not peace, it is fear." And the student was just standing there looking at the guru, and he said, "How do you know that?" And then the teacher said, "For all these years, you have been silently doing all this seva, but you have never been asking that. You have never questioned it. But what I saw is it is not being questioned because of respect or anything, but you are living in a fear. That is why you are not even able to ask." And that day, when the teacher said, "Don't live in that fear," if you thought that not asking was your peace, that's the wrong thing that you have been following. And when the disciple finally spoke honestly what he was feeling, what he was requiring, the tears automatically started rolling down. Because in this moment, the misunderstood things or the misunderstandings just dissolved. And then in that moment, the relationship, the bonding was more deeper within them. And in that moment, the Guru smiles and says, "Truth spoken with sincerity purifies both the speaker and the listener." That purification is the. कभी कभी आप देखना, जब हम बोलते हैं ना, तो सिर्फ बोलने वाले के लिए फायदा नहीं होता, जो सुनता है उसके लिए भी फायदा होता है. इट्स नॉट ओनली फॉर द गेन ऑफ द वन हु इज स्पीकिंग, but also for the one who is listening. Let's say you had a conflict for a year, and suddenly one of your friends, he appears with whom you had the conflict, and now you say the truth to them in such a way that it is conveyed what has really happened. What do you think? You only get relief from that, or the other person who has been living in that guilt or thinking what has gone wrong, they also get their freedom? And that's where I say, speak. Speak in such a way where you speak of your freedom. Speak. Speak in such a way where not only you get free, but the one who is listening gets freedom also. That's where I say, speak. Speak where you not only speak the freedom, you live it. And seeing you living that freedom, may somebody else also get it. That's how you should be living. And then you remember this. Silence protects comfort, but truth protects the connection. So what did Tha said? Tha simply said one thing. I am going to express, not to break, not to be always the good one, but rather what I speak, I will speak with conviction and truth. That is the work of Tha. इसलिए सरस्वती को विद्या की देवी माना जाता है. इसीलिए सरस्वती की पूजा किया जाता है, that she gives us the power to speak and speak the truth. And that was the work of the. But do you think only speaking would do the work? What if the other person does not understand your language? And I'm not talking that I'm speaking in Hindi and you are speaking in Telugu or something. No, even though both speak the same language, at times they don't understand. How many of you understand what I'm saying? You say, but they don't listen to it. Experienced? Yeah, of course. So, let's say why Tha came into existence. Because speech was not alone sufficient. But at the same time, speech must carry something called as compassion. That is where Tha came into existence. Tha was the expansion of the from only truth to a truth with compassion. Just like when Buddha spoke or Shiva says to Parvati that ye sab maya hai. They did not said that with to break it. अगर मैं कहूं कि तुम ही भगवान हो और ये सब माया है, सब छोड़ दो, you leave everything. What did you realize? You actually understood half of the truth. अगर सब कुछ माया है लेकिन उससे पहले हमने ये कहा है कि सब कुछ वही है, इफ इट इज ऑल दैट डिवाइन, तो क्या माया डिवाइन नहीं है? बट इफ यू ओनली होल्ड टू वन पार्ट ऑफ इट एंड इफ इट इज ओनली सेट सब छोड़ के भाग जाओ, then I might be saying the truth, but that compassion is missing within me. So now Tha has come into play to bring that compassion, that empathy into play. Tha is like the sound of the heart leaning forward to meet another being. If Tha only speaks what is true, Tha asks how that truth will appear. And in the Puranas, Tha is seen in the compassion of the saints who speak firmly. सच बात करेंगे, but with lot of love, care. They will correct you without humiliating you. Tha softens the righteousness into kindness. It is why harsh truth, जो कहते हैं ना कि सच्चाई कड़वा होता है, सच्चाई कड़वा इसलिए नहीं होता कि वो वैसा है, बट कैसे बोला गया है, इट्स हाउ इट वाज टोल्ड, दैट मेक्स इट्स हार्श. जैसे हम कहते रहते हैं ना कि लाइफ इज वेरी टफ, then you should be tougher. But have you learned that art of being a little compassionate, not only to outside, but within you? This is where it awakens something within us. It awakens the capacity to feel another's pain. But feeling the other person's pain without drowning in that pain. Because we have seen some of the people are over compassionate. अब ओवर कंपैशनेट लोगों के साथ क्या होता है, वो सामने वाले का दर्द सुनते हैं और उसके दर्द में ये भी डूब जाते हैं. They also drown in the sorrow of the other. No, it is not about that. You should see what the problem is and then you see what you all can do, rather than just sitting there and starting to cry with the person who is sitting and crying. And that's where you will see many people appear quite separate from you, but that you have to see like whether they are only saying the truth or they are saying the truth in a compassionate way And they are saying that so that you don't drown in the pain of the world. So there are so many ways of looking at it. Now just close your eyes. Just ask to your own self, have you been harsh to your own self? Example, I can tell the truth by, generally, how do we compare ourselves? Let's take a very simple example. If I close my eyes and I just see and I talk to myself, I might be saying the truth, but how I am saying it, it's all depends. If I say I'm not good looking, if I say my color is this, if I say nobody likes me, if I say I'm not good enough, might be based on your looks. You are saying that, okay, this is the truth that I believe. But how are you saying that? Is that truth making you feel bad? Or is that truth making you free? And then you will realize that if you could have told the same thing compassionately to your own self, whichever way I look at, it might be the truth. The way I look at it, I look at. If that is the case, just think of in this way. I look like this, but I was still made by the hands of that divine. What changes in that space? Then you will see the complaint will convert into a simple acceptance. And that simple acceptance will make you free. Because the previous truth, which was told without compassion, was cutting you down within yourself into pieces again and again. Just like people would say, why are you like this? And then you say, हाँ मैं ऐसा ही हूँ. And then you start crying. But if you realize to that, like, what would be the issue? Why I feel like this? And then you say, okay, so these are the things that is happening. And that's why I feel this way. But let me ask you a question. When somebody said something to you, up until you accept it, can it do any harm to you? जब तक आप उसे अपना नहीं लेते. And that's where you have to see what all I am consuming. What all I am consuming, not only as food. वो कहते हैं ना कि whatever you eat, you become like that. That's what they say. But they are only saying one part of it. They only are looking at the food that you eat through your mouth. But what about the food that goes into you through your eyes, through your ears, through your thoughts, through your emotions, through your feelings? Let me ask a question. If you have a choice of a food, there is an array of food kept in front of you, okay? There is a buffet. Would you eat all of it? Or you will eat what you like? सिंपल है ना? इसमें कोई किसी को समझ में नहीं आने वाली कोई चीज है. और नहीं, सब लगा है तो मैं खाऊंगा ही खाऊंगा. Like I should eat everything. Is that the case with you? Anybody does that? And even if you wrongly tasted something and you didn't felt good about it, will you continue to eat it? No, right? So when you can choose your food by taste, Why can't you choose what you think here? But the problem is, here we chew the food that we don't want, because we never knew that we are also consuming something through the vision, through the ears, through smell. Would you stay in a place that stinks? No, right? Then why are you not clearing this part? Is it because what others told to you? Or you have accepted it? So, time to cleanse everything off. Don't worry, I'll do that meditation, and that meditation is for specifically designed for this only. So, that clutter that you have been gathering all around, I can say that's like clutter loss program. They have this fat loss program, right? So we'll do a clutter loss program, might be a small little meditation that will help every one of us. But if you are realizing all these things, this is what I really want to work on. It's not about just living in this world and becoming a part of it, but rather taking a step back and see how everything is actually going on within you. But be more compassionate, not only to others. First, be compassionate towards your own self. And that is why Tha is like compassion that starts within and then moves towards others. Here, when Tha is in play, the principal devata or the deity, principal deity for Tha is Vishnu, because he is also known as the Karuna Sagara. He is the one who is filled with compassionate empathy. He is absolute emotional intelligence. That's what I can say. अगर इमोशन भी है, so absolute emotional intelligence अगर किसी के पास है, तो I would call it as that's Vishnu. There is also another name that I think like this comes from Buddhism or Jainism, might be Avalokeshwara, Avalokiteshwara, right? But if you want to gain that compassion within yourself, the compassion of Lord Vishnu, the compassion wherein your emotions don't drown you down, don't kill you every moment. In this space, किसी ने मुझे पूछा था, somebody asked, like, you keep on saying like aham brahmasmi, but I have seen people dying. I said, where? No, we heard this person left the world. I said, wow. So that's what you saw? He said, yes. But I said, do you know you kill yourself million times a day and you are still breathing? How many times do you kill yourself in a day? With your thoughts. Yes or no? But you are still breathing, right? And there is a funny thing that somebody said, I heard it somewhere. Okay, कहते कि you don't die. You only die for others. तो क्या कहते? You don't die. You only die for others. मतलब दूसरे जो आपको देख रहे हैं वो कह सकते हैं कि आपकी मृत्यु हुई, लेकिन क्या आपकी मृत्यु हुई? But just think of this. There was this old person and he was very fearful of death. And he was very old and he was admitted to the hospital. Then one of his relatives comes and this person is already very fearful of the death. जो भी आ रहा है उसको सबको वही कहानी बोल रहा है कि अरे मरना नहीं है, मुझे मरना नहीं है. Then this person might have heard our satsang or something good somewhere, and he comes and says the same statement to this person. You only die for others, you don't die. What do you think would be the condition of this person who is fearful of death? शायद इतनी ताकत आ जाए कि उठ के एक बजा दे, है ना? But that's where I say, if you have learnt the art of living and dying, then these things will make sense and does not make any sense at the same time, because now you have learnt to be here and not be here at the same time. आप यहां रहोगे और नहीं भी. Will you die? Will you die? आपसे बड़ा चिरंजीवी तो मैंने आज तक देखा नहीं है. आप सिर्फ नाम काउंट करते हो कुछ लोगों के. So for the world you might die, but for yourself you'll never die. Is it not a great relief from death itself? So that is where I'm saying the truth, but I'm saying in a compassionate way. That's why you feel the truth not piercing but solacing. And then please close your eyes, take this mantra. If you really want to get the grace of especially Lord Vishnu, and that would be Om Tham Karunamayaya Namah. Om Tham Karunamayaya Namah. Om Tham Karunamayaya Namah. Because if the speaks the truth, the asks how that truth touches another's heart. The is like compassion in motion, not just sentiment, but a way of showing that you actively care. And that's where you will know from our Puranic studies, Lord Vishnu descends as a avatar, not because the cosmos needs information, but because beings need understanding. The therefore softens all the rigidity without diluting the dharma itself. तो भगवान अवतार क्यों लेते हैं? सिर्फ और सिर्फ सिखाने के लिए नहीं, समझाने के लिए भी. So let me see if I can narrate this. Okay. There was one time there was this sage who fed a thief. ठीक है, एक चोर था. तो ये अच्छे व्यक्ति है. So this sage, he fed the thief, and क्या होता है उसमें कि like he said that if I feed it, he said, let me correct you, what you are doing is not right. So he corrected the thief and he started feeding him. And then when this saint was questioned, why did you feed the thief? When he was asked why you showed kindness to a person who has done the wrong things, then the saint replied, hunger listens better than fear. अगर आपको जानने की जिज्ञासा है तो आपको जल्दी समझ में आएगा, लेकिन अगर आप डर डर के समझने की कोशिश करोगे तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा. Keep this statement and give this to the students. If you are hungry to learn, you will learn faster. But if you are trying to learn out of fear, it's not going to be easy. And then once this was told, the thief actually transformed in the later half, not because he was condemned that you are something that you have been doing wrong and all those things, but because he was seen. And when you see and try to correct someone in the right attitude with compassion, that is where the Matrika, Tha, is in action. And that's where I see, especially when I came to this part of India, in every name, I see there is a H added to that. Specific names that can be like Smita, Smita. If you go to the north, they would type it as Smita. But here, it is Smitha. There is a H very prominent in many names. Then I realized something. I said, okay, this H, especially beyond the T, H is added because somehow or other they understood what Tha is all about. T and H, when they combine together, it creates more compassion. It's not a grammatical or alphabetical error. It's a deeper understanding. Some people out here would have been intelligent enough to know that meaning, and that's why they have added it. And I have seen many people saying, why do you need a H in everything? Because they never understood what that Tha is all about. And that's where I understood why. Then I also saw, like, okay, so my teacher, one of my tuition masters, like, my name used to be MANS, but he added a H by default towards the end. And by that way, my name came into the MANS only. And in every record, it has become like that. But in our place, nobody adds a H to that. And I said, oh, so he must be trying to be making me a little bit more compassionate, might be. So that's why he added that H to that. He did a good job, right? Okay. It depends who is listening. Okay. So now let's go to the third word, that is the. Because when you are compassionate, when you are trying to express and when you are compassionate, there will be action. Because compassion and that movement will create action. And the is the vibration of giving. The sacred act of being oneself to sustain others. आप जब किसी को कुछ दे पाते हो तब द, इसलिए द से शब्द बनता है दान. In Vedic thought, the universe itself is sustained by dana. Exchange without calculation. पूरी सृष्टि को देखो एक बार, ये कृपा दान इसी से चल रहा है कि नहीं? अगर इसको समझना है, इफ यू रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड इट, आई कैन गिव यू अ वेरी क्लासिक एग्जांपल दैट यू एक्सपीरियंस एवरी सिंगल डे. What did I say? It is dana, exchange without exact calculation. कितना दिया कितना मिला. For example, the sun. The sun gives light without asking even who deserves it. The rivers flow without even selecting who should drink this water. And this is where the is present whenever you share, whenever you are sharing your time, whenever you are sharing your knowledge, whenever you are sharing your energy or even resources. But you are doing it not out of obligation, but alignment with nature, that nature itself knows something beautiful. Nature knows how to give without asking how much you are going to give it back. Are you breathing? Did the nature ask, I am giving you the breath, but are you going to be a good person or bad person? Does it discriminate? No. दान किसे कहते हैं? दे के भूल जाना, देना भूल जाना, उसे कहते हैं दान. And that's where this play comes into as the Matrika, the breaks the illusion of isolation कि मैं और सिर्फ मेरे लिए है. ये आइसोलेशन जिस दिन टूट जाता है, आपके अंदर वो मातृका जागृत होती है. अगर किसी को आप देखोगे, वन हु हैज बिकम अ गिवर बाय नेचर, नाउ यू नो that this particular matrika has awakened within us in a very, very amazing way. For example, you might have Raj Arora ji, right? Right. So when you see him, might be some of the people those who are in Shivratri, he might have seen him, right? जिसके अंदर वो देने की शक्ति आ गई. It's not about what I am giving, it's about if I'm always thinking about giving, how to give something, how to give something. How do you become? When you look at that person, how do you feel? You feel like, how can somebody be like that? That means there is a little bit of that the matra still not completely visible in you. The moment it does, you will be abundant. Abundant in what? Abundant in giving. It's just like this. Now, during the fall season, the trees will shed their leaves, right? सारे पत्ते झड़ जाते हैं. नए पत्ते आते हैं कि नहीं आते? So that's nature. The one that gives away even without thinking, the nature fills it up. इसी तरीके से जब आपके अंदर वो द शक्ति भर जाती है ना, तब देखना सब मैजिक शुरू हो जाता है. But let me give you a practical understanding. Okay. Do you have your mala with you right now? No? Don't worry. Then you will see and understand it. Or else you would have done it and understood it. Okay. This is going to be one of the most amazing lessons that you will ever learn. Okay. Can you see the mala right now in front of me? Okay. जिसको इतनी बुद्धि नहीं है, लोग कहते हैं कि क्यों दे रहे हो, देने से क्या होगा, यही पूछते ना लोग. इतना दान करते हो क्या? उनको सिर्फ ये एक ही चीज दिखा देना. Just try this. If I push it away, what happens? By nature, it is coming back to me. If I am trying to give it away, what's happening? It's by default coming towards me. But if I only pull towards myself, by default, it will go away. समझ में आया? Nature is working in front of you right now. If you only keep things to yourself, it will always go away. And if you try to give it away also, it always returns back. Again, 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 again. मुश्किल है समझाना. बच्चों को सिखा सकते हो. तो जब बच्चे क्वेश्चन करते हैं ना कि आप अच्छा करते हो, आपके साथ तो अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, बिकॉज दे आर ओनली सीइंग वन पार्ट ऑफ इट। उनको ये एग्जाम्पल दिखा देना और उनके हाथ से कराना, बोला एक काम कर, ऐसे एक माला निकाल दे, बिकॉज दिस शुड बी द बेस्ट सिंपलेस्ट वे ऑफ शोइंग। बोला माला करता है ना, मंत्र जाप करते हो, हाँ वही माला निकालो, वही माला से सिखाते हैं। इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, प्रैक्टिकल ऑल्सो, है ना? दैट्स वेयर यू कैन शो देम। बट देर आर इंटेलिजेंट पीपल, आई विल टेल यू, they'll say that means whatever you are trying to hold, it's going away. I said exactly. That means if I'm trying to hold spirituality, then they will say, okay, then I should go away from spirituality, so spirituality comes towards me. These are intelligent people. You'll meet them also. So I'm giving you caution because I have met them. So tell them the story that when I'm giving, I'm not touching the water. But when I'm trying to only bring it for myself, I am actually touching the water and creating ripples. तो बताओ, द मात्रिका जब जागृत होगी तो आप क्या करोगे? By default, I know you people are such beings that you don't even think about your own self. And you just keep on giving, giving, giving. I know a classical example again, like I'm just taking a name because he must be sleeping now. That's why I can take the name safely. There is somebody not named as Chandramohanji. I am not taking your name because some people say, क्यों मेरा नाम क्यों ले रहे हो? No, no, everyone in this. See, until and unless you have that awakened within you, no, you cannot really come into spirituality. It's not possible. जिसे देना नहीं आता ना, उसके हाथ से पूजा नहीं हो पाएगी. The one who has not learned how to give, I'm not saying like giving like huge things. It's all about feeling like giving first. अरे आपके मन के अंदर तो आना चाहिए कि मुझे कुछ देना है. जिस दिन देना आ जाता है ना, जिस दिन मन के अंदर ही आ जाता है, द मोमेंट यू फील लाइक आई कैन गिव, दैट डे यू बिकम रिच. Yes or no? That very moment you become rich, because now you are thinking not only to keep, but now you are thinking to give. अब सोचो, सूरज अपनी सारी रोशनी अपने अंदर संभाले और तुम्हारे पास कोई रोशनी ना भेजे. द सन keeps its own light to itself. What would happen to the world? समझ में आ रहा है? So it is by default, the nature of nature is dana, to give. And now you know, when you give, it by default comes back to you. अब कोई डाउट है? लोग जब पूछेंगे कि इतना कर रहे हो, तुम्हारे साथ क्या हो रहा है? तुम इतना पूजा कर रहे हो, तुम्हारे साथ क्या हो रहा है? तुम इतना दान पुण्य कर रहे हो, तुम्हारे साथ क्या हो रहा है? तुम तो अच्छे मार्ग पे चलते हो, तुम्हारे साथ क्या हो रहा है? तब क्या करते हो आप? हंसते हो अभी, राइट? क्योंकि ये बोले ये डायलॉग तो मेरा था. आई सेड कहीं सुना हुआ है? आई सेड या एग्जैक्टली योर्स. ये मेरा कहा हुआ बात नहीं है, ये आप लोगों का कहा हुआ. बट नाउ when you actually learn that giving is taking, and that's where you feel liberated in the good deeds that you do. Now you don't even think उसके बदले मुझे क्या मिला. Now you know that nature will bring it back to you anyways. आप चाहो ना चाहो आपके पास आएगा. मैं कहूंगा नहीं माला उधर ही रहे, मेरे पास मत आ. Will it happen that way? It will come back. That's what the bounce back theory speaks of. सिर्फ कर्म वापस नहीं आता है, माला भी वापस ही आता है. And if you do द दान पुण्य जो किसी लिए क्यों कहा गया है कि दान पुण्य किया करो, सो दैट वॉट एवर यू आर गिविंग इट, इट कम्स बैक in a much better way. And one amazing thing, how slowly even I want to push it away, it will come with a faster pace to me. Yes or no? मैं कितना भी धीरे करने की कोशिश करूं, जैसे ही हाथ छोड़ दूंगा वो बहुत जोर से मेरे पास वापस आएगा. दैट मीन्स नेचर ऑलवेज विल पुश थ्रू मोर देन द एफर्ट दैट यू हैव पोस्टेड. मेरा एफर्ट किसी भी तरीके का हो सकता है, बट व्हेन इट रिटर्न्स वेरी फास्ट, एंड दैट्स नेचर. दैट्स द लॉ ऑफ नेचर. गॉट इट विथ क्लैरिटी? आज के बाद आपको कोई रुला नहीं सकता ये कह के कि तुम इतना अच्छा क्यों करते हो. Nobody will make you cry, right? Got it? Or I was just talking to my own self? Okay, at least Vinay Lata ji showed two. जब विद्या जी बस स्माइल कर दे रहे, धवल जी एक उंगली. चलो, so I came to realize people are not sleep. Okay, good. So what happens? Why you feel like giving? Because that Matrika has awakened within you. अब सोचो, if the Matrikas are awakening within you, what is the indication? It's an indication that everything that has separated itself is now again coming back as was one thing. एकम अनेकम भवति, अब अनेक एक बनने जा रहा है, अनेकम एकम भवति. So that what has manifested itself in so many different ways is now again culminating itself back to become one. और अगर आपके अंदर ये सारे गुण जागृत हो रहे हैं, बी हैप्पी. आपके दिन कम होते जा रहे हैं संसार में, बार बार जाने और आने के चक्कर से. यू आर गेटिंग फ्री फ्रॉम दैट. सो अब देखा हमने क्या दान दिया. हमने एक दान ये दिया कि मुक्त हो जाओ. सो ऑलवेज seek the space like how, what can you do. किसी भी तरीके से छोटे तरीके से भी do that. और दान का मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं होता कि पैसे दे दिए, ये दे दिए. नो, वो किसी भी तरीके का हो सकता है. एटलीस्ट ब्रिंग ए स्माइल टू समबडीज फेस. एटलीस्ट लिसन टू समबडीज सॉरो. हाँ, उसमें डूब मत जाना जैसे मैंने कहा. Now there is a question that has been posted. If the nature arises, ये सुमा जी ने लिखा, या if the nature arises, चला गया. I just need to see. Will the, अगर if that kind of thing arises within you, will the nature support you? Absolutely. Without the support of the nature, that cannot arise within you. And now if that has arisen within you, that means the nature is absolutely in alignment with it. और देखना, जीवन को सबसे सरलतम उपाय से अगर जीना है ना, इफ यू लिव इट द वे नेचर हैज डिजाइंड इट. नॉट सिटिंग in front of the piano of life and putting and creating new music with that. You just observe how things are moving, and then you will be something else altogether. Life will continue to happen in front of you, not to you. कर्म आपके सामने घटित होंगे, not by you. Things will be done, but not by you. Now you have created a gap between the doer, the judge, and that small little me. ये यात्रा है अणु से परमाणु की. ये यात्रा है सिर्फ अपने पास से रखने से दूसरों को देने की. Not only hoarding, not only keeping only to yourself. It's about helping. Are you able to understand what I said? Okay. So thank God that nature has awakened within you. Because once this the appears within you, no? You know what? इसको बड़े अच्छे तरीके से कहा गया है कि जिसे दान करना आता है उसके घर में धन की कमी नहीं होती। जिसके घर में दान करना आता है उसके घर में धन की कमी नहीं होती, बिकॉज दिस वर्ड द is absolutely connected to Kuber as abundance and Lakshmi as flow and Vishnu as sustainer. If you do that one word, दुर्गा का बीज मंत्र क्या है बताओ? आप करते हो ना, दुम दुर्गाय नमः। अब समझ में आना चाहिए कि ये दुम वर्ड कहां से आया। द with a ukara with a bindu on that, it becomes dum durgaya nama, right? Here in this case the word dam, the dot, can it be a बीज मंत्र of all three gods? जहां कुबेर की अबंडेंस आ जाता है, लक्ष्मी का कंटिन्यूअस फ्लो आता है और विष्णु वहां उसको सस्टेन करता है। व्हाट इज वन बीज मंत्र फॉर थ्री गॉड्स? दम। Got one mantra for three gods. Good, right? But if you really want to deepen that quality within you, because when you start learning giving, you will never be a beggar again. Although there is a mantra to even invoke this मातृका within you, मतलब जो कहते हैं ना कि मुझे देना तो सोचता हूं देने के लिए, दे नहीं पाता हूं। ऐसे लोगों से मिले हो आप? हंस रहे सब, मतलब इसका मतलब ये लोग मिले हैं उन लोगों से। मतलब देना चाहता हूं बट ये जो BUT वर्ड आ जाता है ना, but many people spell it out. BUT, they don't say but, they slowly say that to create another word. PUT. कुछ समझे? नहीं समझ में आया? बट को थोड़ा धीरे से बोलो उसका स्पेलिंग मुझे। What word is it creating? Some people use but as BUT. Beauty. And they use it in such a beautiful way. How many times we also decorate it? And he said, it's not but, it's BUT. सुंदरता बन जाता है हमारे लिए। However, you should be careful with that BUT. That beauty can keep you away from this duty. That's what I can say. This duty of giving, this duty of doing something for this world. See, if your nature is that divine, the divine's nature is grace. So be graceful, that's what I say. And those people, those who keep on saying beauty, but for them, if they really want to, really, they say, अच्छा ये नहीं हो पा रहा है तेरे से, लेकिन तू करना चाहता है सच में, in order to change that within you, I can give you a mantra. Om Dam Dan Vrittaye Nama. Om Dam Dan Vrittaye Nama. If you start chanting that, automatically you will start having that feeling of giving more and more and more. अब कोई बच्चा सुन ले और कहे कि क्या ये मैं अपने पापा या मम्मी के ऊपर अप्लाई कर सकता हूं? कि मैं बैठ के चैंट करूं और वो बस देते जाएं. Who knows until you try? So all the kids in the house. Om Dana Vritte Nama. Om Dan Vritte Nama. Om Dan Vritte Nama. Om Dan Vritte Nama. But here when I said कि मेरे पापा और मम्मी क्या वो मुझे दे सकते हैं, and you all laughed, right? Because you thought I was referring to you as a parent, and your kids will ask that. But what if I'm talking about Narayan and Lakshmi and you being the kid, and now you are asking Om Dana Vrittaya Nama? Then what? नहीं, हमेशा फिर देखे आप वो BUT पे आ गए. अरे बच्चा मांगे तो अच्छा, बच्चे को अगर समझ में आ गया ये मंत्र कर लिया और मेरे को देना पड़ा तो नो, you are going to that BUT. Why can't you be that kid? Why can't they be your parents? Om Danavrittaya Nama. It's like, oh graceful, with your grace, may my house always be filled with. और आप क्यों हंसे जानते हो? Shall I tell you the truth on your face? You all laughed. You know why? Because आपको पता है आपके पास है, और अगर बच्चा मांगेगा तो देना पड़ेगा, और इसीलिए आप हंस रहे हो. इसका मतलब ये भी जानना चाहिए कि देने वाला वो है, उसके पास है, इसलिए वो भी हंस रहा होगा. ओम दानवृत्तये नमः. अब कौन सा बच्चा बैठ के चैंट करेगा ये बताओ? विच किड इज गोइंग टू चैंट दिस नाउ? Because now Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi and Kubera, all these three powers, it's like you becoming the kid and doing this job and saying, you take care now. Your nature is a giver, and now I am invoking that giver within you. जैसे कि आप देना चाहते हो और तभी कोई आपके सामने आके कहता है कि आप मुझे कुछ दे सकते हो. Then there is no conflict within you. Rather, let's say you are, I'll tell you an example. Last night, I went out. I came out around like 12:30 in the night. We went for a dinner. And then I liked it. One amazing thing, like it was the birthday of a person, and they carried a little bit of food that always बच जाता है ना. हम थोड़ा abundance लोग हैं, हम मंगा लेते हैं एक ही बार, मतलब ये सोच के हम खा लेंगे. But that does generally doesn't happen. So then what they said, they carried it. I said, now where to give, where to give? It is already late in the night. I simply said, जिसके लिए बना है वो खा लेगा. So don't worry on that. Now, when you are carrying that, you want to give, you want to give in, want to give, but nobody is around. How do you feel? सोचो फिर से. If you are wanting to give, but there is no one there to receive, how do you feel? Feel good? मैं बिल्कुल वही कहना चाहता हूं. वो देना चाहता है, लेने वाला कोई नहीं है. कैसा लग रहा होगा उसको? He wants to give, there is no one to receive. How would he feel? Just exactly. आप तो एक फूड का थैला लेके घूम रहे हो, बोले किसको दूं, किसको दूं, whom to give, whom to give, and you see, कोई तो मिल जाए, कोई तो मिल जाए. Just think what he would be thinking. And now somebody appears in front of you, and when you give that food to them and say, so thank God, I have been waiting for this food for a long time. I was so hungry for the past 2 days. How would you feel? Now I am freeing you from the guilt that you live. I ask what he will think. What if he is trying to give and there is no taker out there? He will be more than happy to give. Om Danavrittaya Nama. It's like there is somebody who wants to give, and now you are standing in front of it and says, I am the receiver, a worthy one. Now give it. And in that moment, you will see not only the receiver, but the giver also feels happy about it. A space where the giver and receiver arrived at the right time and both are free of that thing now. क्या करोगे? नया मंत्र ऐड हो गया ना? कितने मंत्र करोगे? That's where I said, if you sit here, you will see one thing. You will get more than what you even thought of. You would not imagine, you would not ask. But this is being said, this is being given. क्यों दिया जा रहा है? Simple. ये देने बैठा है, लेने वाला कोई है? He's sitting here to give. Is there any takers of that? Take it. और ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना, भूख नहीं है किसी को, अब जबरदस्ती उसको दे रहे हो, लेगा क्या? Then he will start saying you, no, I don't need food, you can give me money, I will buy something else. मिला है ना, ऐसे भी लोग मिले होंगे ना आपको? Exactly. I'm not saying anything that you have not experienced. It's all your experience. But can you see in this softest, subtlest of the ways, how amazing things can be told? I heard something beautiful. You should be like, you will like it. They said that किसी ने कहा कि you are lucky if you have a friend who can tell you great things as well as smallest of the things. मतलब आपके साथ जोक भी कर सकता है और आपको बड़े ज्ञान की बातें भी कर सकता है. You are lucky to have a person like that who can joke with you and also give you the greatest of the knowledge. But there is a greater person from beyond that also. Who is a greater person beyond that? Now, the one who can tell the greatest of the things as a joke and a thing of a joke as a great of a thing. एक बड़े से बड़ा चीज को सरलता से समझा दे और एक सरल चीज को भी बड़ा बना दे. अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसा है, then you are super lucky. Getting that? मतलब अपनी एडवर्टाइजमेंट कर रहे हैं आवाजी और कुछ नहीं. No, it's not about that. Did you saw in that exactly what I'm saying? You can tell the greatest of the things in the simplest of the ways, and even you can make a simple thing appear great. How? आप उनकी बातें इतनी सरलता से कर सकते हो जो सबसे बृहत है. The one who has created everything, you can talk about it in such a simple way. And then a simple rock, you take it and you say, this is that. एक बृहत चीज को सरलता से बता दे और एक सरल सी चीज को उसकी बृहत्तम स्थिति बता दे. एक अणु में परमाणु को दिखा दे, एक जीव में शिव को दिखा दे, एक आत्मा में परमात्मा को दिखा दे और एक परमात्मा को हर कोण में दिखा दे. दिस इज व्हाट इट इज ऑल अबाउट. आर वी डूइंग दैट? सिटिंग हियर. एग्जैक्टली. तो क्या था मंत्र? ओम दानवृत्तये नमः. If you are teaching that to your kids, tell them don't expect me to be your ATM now. I have given you the access to the bank. Take it. It might flow through you, but how about they creating their own abundance? I might be giving answer to many questions today. ओम दान वृत्तये नमः. यहां कोई लोन अप्लाई करने की जरूरत नहीं है, यहां कोई बैंक अप्रूवल की जरूरत नहीं है, यहाँ पे कोई भी आपको उसके बदले कुछ रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. The only thing that you give here is your readiness to take it, your readiness to achieve what the grace is falling, your readiness to grasp what is being there for you, because nature is always abundant except the bowls that we have created. मैं एक चम्मच लेके बारिश का पानी रखने के जा रहा हूं, कितना रहेगा? So if you create that huge space within yourself. हाँ, no CIBIL score. वाह, धवल जी ने ऐड कर दिया. No collaterals, no, क्या कहते हैं उसको, proof, then lot of lists are there. So इस चीज को करने के लिए आपको ये कोई भी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है, because now you are not begging, now you are asking for grace. And as I said, what if it has been waiting for somebody to ask? है ना, जो साइड में बैठा है विनय लता जी, उसको कुछ समझ में आया? ओके, इट्स अ गुड मंत्र, राइट? द बेस्ट मंत्र थ्रू आउट द डे. कंटिन्यू करते हैं आगे. सो यू गॉट द मंत्र ओम दम दान वृत्तय नमः. सो दिस इज वेयर इट्स लाइक द ग्रेस वुड कम. एक देयर वाज one clip that I saw. There is a company in China actually. He gives bonuses to people in cash. He does not give check. He does not do bank transfer, anything. All the money that they have collected, they will put it on a like a conveyor belt. Utna paisa hai. Okay. And then he would say, pick your part from that. अपने हिसाब से उठा लो जो तुम्हें लगता है कि तुमने काम किया है. He has a theory. उसने कहा कि I will give that much to my people that they will never think of stealing it. मैं इतना दूंगा कि वो चोरी ना करे, और अगर कहीं जाए तो वापस मेरे पास आए, क्योंकि ऐसा कोई नहीं करता. And that's where exactly a similar story that I remember, that there was a king, okay, एक राजा था, and he goes to his guru and he asks, how can I ensure that my kingdom prospers? Like a king, every king thinks that my kingdom would prosper. Then the sage replied one beautiful thing. Similar words. He says, give until your people fear, or until your people forget the fear of not having. कि जब तक आपके प्रजा के मन में, even the people in your kingdom, if they have the fear of not having enough, can the country prosper? He said, first and foremost thing, give that much that the fear of not having enough goes away. If that is taken care of, what would happen? Now everything is living in a abundance mentality. And then what would happen? The prosperity would grow on its own. Not because wealth increased magically, but because that trust replaced the anxiety of not having enough. And the is the bringing it back or restoring the circulation of that abundance. And when I said that the king asked, how can I have abundance? The sage said, give that much that they don't live in fear anymore. I am also doing the same thing. कर्म कांड पूजा पाठ मंत्र जाप mrityu, mukti, all this fear that you ever had, not having enough, how to take care. Exactly, that's what I'm doing. Trying to pass on so much that you actually get free from that fear. And if you are free from the fear, then do I need to work on anything else? Or it just happens on its own? Is it helping? Is it helping is the question. Now, after the comes the dha. Because at times when you give, 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 it feels like exhaustion also. When you give and you feel exhaustion, you know why? Because effort that you have put is rarely appreciated fully by the one who received it. And in that moment, service will become heavy. ये कब होता है? When you give at the wrong place. अपात्र में दान कर देते हो, उस व्यक्ति को उसका कोई मोल नहीं है. It does not understand the value of that, and that's why you feel exhausted. It's not that you don't want to give, but you don't want to feel exhausted, and that's where the next akshara or the matrika comes into play. The dha. Because if you are doing something for somebody, what is the least thing that you are expecting? At least something. But again, let me tell you, you can still give without expecting, remembering if I touch the water, the ripples are created. Dha is not stubbornness. It is like keeping a commitment without any bitterness within ourselves. In our lives, dha appears in caregivers who continue to help people despite they are fatigued. Dha is also very visible in people, or they are the seekers who maintain continuously, they keep on chanting, keep on doing their sadhana, even without any visible progress in their sadhana. उनको कुछ changes नहीं समझ में आ रहे, but still they are continuing to do. Especially अगर आप देखोगे कुंती, सीता, देवकी, they were all the embodiment of that word dha. Because it's a great strength. Strength that does not demand recognition. उसे उसके बदले कुछ नहीं चाहिए. और आप सोचो एक बार, whenever you are giving and you are exhausted because it was not appreciated, what could be the root cause of it? Root cause is very simple. You expected. है ना? You expected that somebody would say, वाह शाबाश बेटा कितना अच्छा काम किया है. Learn this art. First decide where to give. Give it in the right place. Then you will never have a regret. Or else, if you gave and you are not getting it back, what would you do? Might be you helped a person in need, वो आके आपके पास से मांग के ले जाता है, उसके बाद वापस नहीं करता. What would you do? How can you safeguard yourself? And आप लोगों को देख के लगता है, by looking at you, I can easily say many people have not returned what they are taken from you. क्यों ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे? Is it so true? Then there is a simple law which you can teach to your kids also. Give that much that if even does not returns back to you, you will not lose your happiness. समझ में आया? उतना दे दो कि अगर वापस भी ना आया तो मुझे दुख नहीं होगा. इतना इंटेलिजेंस तो होना चाहिए ना. That is what the teaches us. If you are pouring into a cup, let's say आपके घर में कोई मेहमान आते हैं, some people come to your home, जो अच्छे चाय बनाते हो आप लोग सब. How much tea would you pour into the cup? As much the cup can hold. You don't pour more than that. What would happen? It will overflow. Similarly, when giving, see the cup. कितना संभाल सकता है वो? How much can it take? ओवरफ्लो हो जाएगा तो ना वो कुछ खुद यूज कर पाएगा ना आपको कुछ वापस कर पाएगा. And just think of this. It might be a little pinching to the people, those who think that they have given and not returned it back. It's your fault. You can ask how. You are wearing a beautiful white dress, kadakdar iron wala. A brand new white dress. You are holding a cup and the person whose home you have gone, they are pouring the coffee or the tea. And while pouring, they over pour it and some of it fall on you, on your dress, the new branded white dress that you bought. How do you feel? Okay. Dress पे नहीं गिरा. You went to their home and they kept on feeding you again and again and again and again, more and more and more and more and more. यहाँ तक आ चुका है. I'll tell you a funny thing. Is it okay? There was this old man, okay, who was very healthy, and by the grace of the divine and a good way he has lived, he was celebrating his 101st birthday. ठीक है, 101 बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट कर. He was all fine, all great, and all amazing. But because it was his 101 birthday, all the relatives came together. Everybody got sweets and cakes. In the morning, there were a lot of cake cuttings and all those things. And every relative fed one. मेरे हाथ से खा लो, मेरे हाथ से खा लो, मेरे. Everybody fed him. In the evening, निकल गया. अच्छा खासा हेल्दी आदमी उसको इतना मिठाई खिलाए, इतना मिठाई खिलाए, so much of they fed him so much that he got fed up, it seems. Sugar spike or something might have happened and 101 साल बेचारा बचा रहा. एक दिन इतना खिलाए कि ऊपर निकल गया. That's what exactly I'm saying. If you are giving to a person, see how much they can take. ये वहां निकल गया, कुछ लोग लेके निकल जाते हैं. समझ में आया? I'm talking a very practical thing of this world. Yes or yes, Aliva ji? That's where I say you should be careful of. इसीलिए क्या कहते हैं दान में, दान जब करते हो तो पात्र में करो, अपात्र में दान नहीं करते हैं। करोगे तो भी गिरेगा और उल्टा आपको गालियां पड़ेंगी। गॉट इट? सो द, दान करो, ध, ध्यान से। गॉट इट? वेयर आर यू गिविंग? अच्छा, जिसको ये कंट्रोल नहीं है, मुझे नहीं पता, लाइक पीपल कम एंड जस्ट से एंड आई एम सो पैशनेट, सो कंपैशनेट, सो इजी गोइंग दैट कोई भी आए मैं दे देता हूं, गया। देन लेटर ऑन कुछ लोगों के घर, आई विल गिव यू एग्जांपल, लाइव एग्जांपल। सम पीपल डोंट गो टू शॉप, द शॉप कम्स टू देम। आई विल गिव यू एग्जांपल्स। देयर इज ए प्लेस कॉल्ड एज भरत नगर, ठीक है? all the vendors or they take like sell fruits and vegetables and all those things, right? There is a house in Bharat Nagar. They don't go out. Every vendor, their house is at the end of the corner, dead end. Every vendor takes a turn towards that lane to stand in front of their home. Whether they have asked or not, they will pack and give it there at their home. क्यों बताओ? Because they don't say no to anyone. And because whatever has come, they keep it, they pay money. समझ में आ रहा? So they are that kind of people. मतलब कोई भी आए सबको कुछ देना ही है. Everybody should get something or other. कभी कभी प्रॉब्लम होता है ना इससे. How many of you suffer from this issue that you cannot say no? How many of you have a issue जिसका धैर्य नहीं रहता? They cannot actually withhold a situation. Those who people break easily. अब सारे हाथ उठाते, बोले एक नहीं दो हाथ उठा लेते कि जब से स्पिरिचुअलिटी में आए ऐसा लग रहा है कि हम किसी को ना नहीं बोल पाते और सब हमारे सर पे नाच रहे हैं. एवरीबडी इज डांसिंग ऑन आवर हेड्स. हमें लगने लगा है कि हम कालिया नाग है और बाकी सब कृष्ण. सब आके हमारे ऊपर नाच रहे हैं आजकल. एनीवन हैविंग दैट इश्यू, लाइक जो धैर्य टूट जाता है इजीली, यू ब्रेक, लाइक सिचुएशन कम यू ब्रेक, थिंग्स अपीयर एंड यू ब्रेक, कोई कुछ बोल देता यू ब्रेक, यू आर सो फ्रजाइल, यू नो. Is there a mantra to make you stronger? Is there a mantra that actually holds you back and teaches you how to say no? Is there a mantra that will secretly make you more stronger? Not that Sona Chandi, Chavan Prash. No, I am talking about a way, a vibrational frequency. If you chant this mantra, that vibrational frequency will not allow you to break easily. See, especially people, those who feel like अब लाइफ में कुछ नहीं रहा, or they are frequently living in fear, for them this mantra would work perfectly. If you think like every small little thing is hitting you in such hard ways that you are on the verge of breaking every time, for them there is a mantra. Now close your eyes. ये मंत्र जुड़ा है, this specific mantra is related to dharani. ध से dharani, that is earth. This aspect of earth, how much you do that, she is able to patiently grab it. वो उतनी जल्दी टूटती नहीं है. And that's how she has been sustaining life for that long. That aspect of Shakti that has become Dharani, the earth. And यहाँ पे जो क्वालिटी है ना ध का, यहाँ पे इस देवी का, वो है धृति. धृति means strength that does not collapse easily. that does not collapse with time, that does not collapse with pressure, that does not collapse easily. तो यहां पे अगर आपको वो बढ़ाना है, आपके अंदर धैर्य जागृत करना है, तो ओम धम, because dham is the bija mantra here of the Matrika, and Om Dham Dhairyay Nama. Om Dham Dhairyay Nama. Om Dham Dhairyay Nama. This gives you that power. This does not allow you to break down easily. This will fill you with profound strength even without your knowledge. You can see a transformed you completely. कि जो हर छोटे चीज पे टूट जाता था, with small little things it used to break, it is now able to hold bigger things with much more ease. So anyone who is breaking down easily, for them, that mantra will be workable. Then the last alphabet of this matrika, ta, tha, da, dha, na. Finally, if you see that after expression, compassion, giving, and endurance, still something remains. Something remains as the residue, as this little being of like the experience. It can be joy, sorrow, attachment, disappointment, love, loss. All of it must be purified. Because if these things are not purified, this will harden, this will become hard like substance and will become bitter in life. And therefore, this matrika arises as na, the vibration of inner cleansing completely and emotional renewal of your own self. Na is like a river after a storm has passed. It can also be like the tears rolling down that washes away something from within that words cannot speak. And in our Puranic culture, this particular na is related to sacred water. And here, this represents Ganga. Ganga descending from that space to this earth to purify. To purify the things that were not even cleared by lot of penance and sadhana. It is something like if you do this, use this word, this matrika now, it is something that will allows grief to move instead to stay and stagnate within you. It can help you with forgiveness to replace it with the resentment that we are living in. It can change humility and dissolve the pride that we carry. Na is something that teaches that purity is not just achieved by avoiding life, but by releasing what life leaves behind and is not needed. So na is the purification and renewal. And here you would love to know that the deity related to na is Ganga, Soma, Shiva. When Shiva takes the form of Hara, means the one who takes away the grief from you. These three spaces, Ganga cleanses, Soma makes you calm, and Hara that takes things away, that is the one that is not needed in your life. जो कुछ भी आपके जीवन में नहीं चाहिए, जो हर लेता है, वो हर है. And the quality that it carries, the nam, is cleansing, forgiveness, emotional release, and humility kind of thing that can be brought into your life. And it also teaches us the surrender. It's absolutely helps us in surrendering. और मंत्र आप सब जानते हो, ये मंत्र को. You already know this mantra. But I will add one thing to that. You already know Om Namah Shivaya, right? If you really want to bring a alphabet into that, that actually cleanses away, takes away all the things that is binding you or cluttering your life, emotionally, mentally, then you have to add one thing. Om Nam Namah Shivaya. Only one alphabet in between. Om Nam Namah Shivaya. Earlier it was Namah Shivaya, or Om Namah Shivaya. But now you have a Om Nam Namah Shivaya. Now if you add this न to that, जो पंचाक्षरी वर्जित है, मतलब जो षडाक्षरी हो जाता है, जो वर्जित है, means it was kept that you should not be telling this, that Om to that, but because of this Nam in between, now you can do that. Om Nam Namah Shivaya, Om Nam Namah Shivaya, Om Nam Namah Shivaya. And you will get the grace of the cleansingness and the grace of the Ganga to purification, the grace of Soma of silence and peace, and Hara that takes away all the things that is not needed in your life. And that is where I can say the grief, the guilt, the anger, the pride, whichever things has accumulated within you, if you chant this mantra, this will cleanse all that. This will take away all of it. This will purify. Absolutely, you feel refreshing. You can do one thing. Today, for at least 10 or 15 minutes after, whenever you get time, just sit. Imagine the image of Shiva where all the three are there in one image. अगर शिव के चेहरे को देखोगे, उसी से गंगा बह रही है, उसी में चंद्रमा है और उसी में हर है. Means if you just focus on the face of Shiva, where you see the Ganga is flowing and the Chandra is there, and then you do this mantra, Om Nam Namah Shivaya, Om Nam Namah Shivaya, Om Nam Namah Shivaya, Om Nam Namah Shivaya. When you do that, you feel like you experience that Ganga is actually flowing through you now. The moon is kept on Shiva's head because moon चंचलता का प्रतीक है, और जब शिव के मस्तक पे रहता है वो स्थिर रहता है. इसीलिए जब मुझे एक बार इमोन ने पूछा था, why Shiva's moon that is there on his head never changes? I see the moon that is there on the sky, it becomes bigger and smaller, but on the head of Shiva, it does not change. And I said, that's why it is Shiva. जो उसे एक बार छू लेता है, and it will never deviate again. It will become still. Just like it is indicating, if your mind touches Shiva once, it will stop all its drama. So now you sit, you see the face of Shiva. In that, what you are seeing, the Ganga Jal that is flowing, it is actually cleansing all that is holding you back. Then the Soma, the Ardha Chandra, is giving you the calmness within you and the stillness of your mind. And then when you look at Shiva, he actually takes away everything that is not needed. This can be done anytime, क्योंकि पूरा मानसिक स्वरूप से करना है. क्या मंत्र है? ओम नम नमः शिवाय. कर लोगे? Then do one thing. All the mantras that have been given, all the things that have been taught, go utilize all of it this week. Then we will do the meditation as the first thing of next chapter of Matrikas or the final chapter of Matrikas. Because I don't want to rush through if I start this meditation. Okay? ब्रेकफास्ट करने का समय हो गया है. So, this way, when we were understanding the ta, tha, the, na, you might not get it at the first instance itself what is being spoken. अगर समझ नहीं आया, go back, listen to it. Because many a times you might not grasp it at the first instant itself, but without even your knowledge, we have talked so many aspects in a subtle way that something must have been missed by you. If you get time, if you get chance and you could listen to that, let me know what you got out of it. Rather, I can say this way. लोग कभी कभी आके कहते हैं कि महादेव हमें ये दुख से क्यों नहीं बचाते? Why does Mahadev does not take care of my pain? I said, because Mahadev does not pull you out of your pain because he wants to pull out the pain out of you. कुछ समझ आया? It will take time to even settle. At times, Mahadev does not pulls you out of your pain because he wants to pull out the pain out of you. वो आपको दर्द से बाहर इसलिए नहीं निकालते क्योंकि वो आपके अंदर का दर्द बाहर निकाल लेना चाहते हैं. Got it? समझ आया? So now go knowing that even if you are not pulled out of the pain, he is pulling out the pain from you. Because at times he does not pull you out of the river, he pulls the river out of you. At times he does not pull you out of this world, he pulls out the world out of you. Make sense? बोलो हर हर महादेव. This is where your awakening happens. It's not play of words. It's a truth hitting within you. Okay? So thank you for listening to my simple, easy, and कभी कभी ना समझने वाली बातें. But you listen to it patiently. That makes you a patra of it. That makes you the right person in front of whom I have spoken. So thank you for choosing that. Thank you for being there. And Om Danavritai Namah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Till we meet again. Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. हर हर महादेव. राधे राधे. बोलो बांके बिहारी लाल की जय. Thank you, everyone. So who is going to take over? If Hari Bhai or who has started this, please take over now. Not or else if there is nothing, you can end the session as well. Thank you so much. I saw you, somebody brought something for us. They said like you have done a good job today and this is what I get. Good, right? That's what I said. Whatever you give, it returns back in a beautiful way. लगा नहीं सकता. I have to keep it somewhere. You know why this flower came to me? No, let me tell you. Simi was doing puja, and the moment I said that, this fell from that. जिसके ऊपर चढ़ाया गया तो उधर से गिरा, तो फ्लावर लाके दी. बोले आप क्या बोले अभी, उसका कुछ आंसर आया है शायद. I said, okay, so let me show you what the answer is. एक ही चीज पता है. When Shiva says, even the devil delivers. Thank you. See you again on Wednesday. If it happens. Else I'll keep you posted anyways. Thank you. So I think Haribhai is not here because he is busy with the activity. So I think like we all have to close this session. Okay, so I have to end it seems. Let me see if I can do that.